Grand rising and priming powerful being. Shout out to you. It's the Holistic Motivator, and today I'm going to be talking about sustaining a holistic lifestyle by living a sustainable life. By that I mean a holistic lifestyle is not something that you just say, I'm going to live. You got to sustain it. And sustain has to do with your daily actions, right? There's the stains, the things that dirty up our blouse. Like, we think we got it looking all good, we're looking all perfect, feeling all good, living good, eating good, breathing good. But then there's stains of destructive habits that will start to mess up your blouse. So sustaining a holistic lifestyle is learning how to clean yourself up. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, habitually, right? In a way that you are able to look outside of yourself, see what you're doing, see how you're doing it, see whether that's in accordance with what you said you were going to do, being in integrity with your own vision for your life. So sustaining a holistic lifestyle is about looking in by looking at yourself. So keep tapping into this episode of Ed Talks Daily Holistic Lifestyle and Motivation Podcast. For those of you who are tapping in live on IG, shout out to you. But this is a podcast, and you can listen to it by going to edtalksdaily.com. There you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to the Ed Talks Daily Holistic Lifestyle and Motivation Podcast. This podcast was Ed Talks Daily Personal Growth and Motivation, but it's only right that it has to be switched to Ed Talks Daily Holistic Lifestyle and Motivation. Text Ed Talks to my number 561-510-9605, and I'll send you reminders when I'm going live. And at the same time, you'll get added to the text messaging tribe, where you're going to get inspiring holistic messages to just keep motivating you along your journey of holistic living. So let's tap in. Sustaining a holistic lifestyle is about consistency. Shout out to Adrian, Life Gardening Tools. Y'all go check out his shop. It's all about sustainability, right? Live like the way that I live is also sustainable way, right? Living on the earth is holistic living in a sustainable fashion. I just reach a hand away and I grab myself some spinach, right? And a hand away, I can just like that. Okay. Maybe we need some seasoning on that, but really good. Sustainability is about having things that keep you alive from at arm's reach. It's about the way you structure your mind, the way you structure your environment, and the way you structure your routine and habits, right? So sustainability is that I don't have to I don't need globalization to keep me happening, right? I've created my own, structured my civilization around me in a way where I'm sustainable, self-sustainable. You ever heard of self-sustainable towns, which means they got their own transport systems, they got their own communication systems, they got their own financial systems, they have their own barter or trading system. That's what creates sustainability, is that you don't have to go elsewhere to get what you need. So how does that relate to self? Sustainability means you don't necessarily need to reach out to other people for you to feel like you're living holistically. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Sustainability is that you don't need me to tell you if you're living holistically. That's sustainability, right? It means that you actually tapped into yourself and you know that, I need to retain my ability to perform. And for me to do that, I need to keep looking and making sure that my lifestyle is in order. So a couple of things I want you to ask yourself: is my lifestyle in order? A couple of things is, do you have a rising routine? That's one of the major things. Do you have a rising routine that gets you in a way where you're ready to tackle the day? Right? Do you have a way that you wake up that gets you in a positive mindset, so you're not waking up in a frenzy, pissed off, frustrated, angry, hungry, angry at everybody? Do you have a self-sustainable, holistic, rising routine? Second, do you have certain holistic habits in place that's going to help sustain your health, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health? Which means, do you have a moving regimen? Do you mindfully move? Do you set times? You say, like, around this time and this time, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this sort of workout. I'm going to go to the gym at this point. I'm going to do this internal work, whether it's Qigong or Tai Chi or yoga, whatever it is that you do. right? Do you have a certain way of eating where you say, maybe I'm on an intermittent fasting schedule, or maybe I fast 1 time a week, 2 times a week, or maybe I fast 3 times a month, every time when the seasons change, right? This is how I'm choosing to eat, which means you're conscious about your food choices. You're like, I'm going to live a pescatarian or plant-based or whatever. We could put titles on it, but you know what? I'm going to base my life on plants. Maybe I'm going to be a pescatarian. Maybe I'm probably still going to eat meat, but most of my foods are going to be veggies and healthier foods. And I'm going to make sure that I don't eat fast food. And when I do eat meat, I'll make sure that I eat meat that's not fried, or I'm going to eat a certain types of grass-fed meat, or whatever your standard has become. Or maybe it's like I'm a pescatarian and I eat fish, right? I'm not here to say, do this, do that. I'm here to say, what have you chose to do and how you chose to be in a way with all the information that you have, what you're able to do at this current moment, and what you think works for you right now. Because guess what? Everybody has evolution. At some point, you might look. We all didn't just start, oh, I plant-based, I just don't eat. No, we start from where we are at. So for some people, where you're starting from in your holistic lifestyle is you finally made the determined effort that, you know what, I like Chick-fil-A, but I ain't rocking with Chick-fil-A too much. Right? You probably made the determination that, you know what, I like going to fast food restaurants, but I decided to cut that off for now. You probably just said, you know, I eat a little bit too much fried food, so you're not eating fried foods. Like maybe you just said, I'm going to stop drinking soda, right? Maybe I'm going to start eating like pork, maybe. Maybe that's the first meat I can let go. I'm going to start eating the scum. I'm going to stop eating the scums of the animals and leave that, because I know that's the opposite of soul food. Whatever dedication you make to yourself, I just want you to, at this stage and this level, I need you to check on yourself so you can realign yourself back in alignment with what you said you were going to do and be in integrity. And this is going to give you the self-confidence, confide in you, in your ability to carry out what you said you were going to do. Not on the basis of what anybody says, right? Not on this, oh, I need to be alkaline like everybody. Look, no, I don't need you to focus on what everybody else is saying. I just want you to think about what exactly did you say? Did you make a determination at your stage now? Can you raise it or can you meet it? Are you under it? How can you elevate yourself to meet it? And what is the next step to raise it? Because we got to keep evolving, right? So I just talked about nutrition. Let's start about movement. What if you finally make the determined effort that, you know what, I'm just going to start by parking as far away from the front door when I go shopping. And you say, I'm going to make sure I walk. I'm actually going to take the steps instead of elevator. Maybe that's where you're starting from. Or maybe I'm going to work out 1 time a week. Right? I just want you to start from that and say, am I in alignment with that? Maybe you elevate it to like, now it's 3 times a week. Now it's not just external, but it's internal. Are you in alignment with that? I just need you to really, okay, sustaining is about understanding that everything you need for your lifestyle to go in the direction you want it is already and available to you, but it's only grabbed on with conscious reflection and conscious awareness. Through reflection, you're able to see in the mirror what is exactly how the result of your being. You're able to see it. That's what reflection does. The result of your being is self-reflection. Self-awareness then allows you to tap in not just to the good parts, good habits, constructive habits or destructive habits. It allows you to tap into all parts of you. So self-awareness is not just, oh, let me look, oh, you know, I know how I feel when I feel good. Self-awareness, no, I know how I am when I'm pissed off. Self-awareness is not unary. It's not binary. It's actually more than 1 or 2. It's actually, there's multifacets to self-awareness. You have to be able. Okay, this is it. Okay, maybe you're looking at finances. You're like, finally, I got my finances in order, right? But then to grab onto that financial abundance, you actually now let go of your relationship with your kids. You let go of some relationships. You let go of your health. So now you're trading. You're not just trading hours for dollars. You're trading time of your life for the money, and you're ignoring your life. So Sustainability of a holistic lifestyle means that we have a holistic viewpoint of what's happening, and we're able to see what the goals are, targets that we want to hit, and then look at all different aspects of our life. We have the emotional aspects, we have the physical aspects, we have the financial aspects, we have emotional aspects of, there are various aspects of analyzing yourself to sustain. So let's talk about self-sustainability, right? Self-sustainability means that by your own efforts, you can thrive, not just survive, you can thrive in the environment that you're currently at. That's self-sustainability. Through your own efforts and the support systems around you, you can survive and thrive, right? A sustainable town, right? Not only do the people survive and they eat and they live and they breathe and all the great things happen for them, but in a sustainable town, they're able to grow that town, right? They're able to create systems to make things easier for yourself. So a sustainable, holistic lifestyle has to also create systems to make it easy for you. So what do I mean? Maybe some of the things, maybe you're like, yeah, I want to work on my mental health, but like, I don't really have a system that works for me where I can actually put time in for it. I don't have a system. So you're like, oh, okay, so you need a holistic system now to sustain your lifestyle. Exactly. And that's going to be dictated by your routine and rituals, right? What the law of ritual said. Maybe I should post that. Right? So any activity repeated over and over, right, it becomes a ritual, right? So you want to be able to have an activity that you do over and over, which is a ritual that's going to help elevate you to the next level. So you're like, what do I mean by that? Maybe in the middle of the day where you actually are depleted, right, instead of going towards the food or the candy or the vice, maybe part of your holistic, sustainable system needs to be a breathing break, right? You might have to implement in the middle of your workday a breathing break, which means like, yo, every time around this time, no matter what I'm doing, I got some time that I'm going to take and I'm going to have a breathing break. And this is going to be the time that I actually sit down and recenter myself. Maybe in the beginning of the week, knowing how busy your schedule is as it relates to your food, you're like, yo, maybe I'm not necessarily going to meal prep where I'm going to have all my foods prepped for the day, but I'm going to meal plan. I'm actually going to sit down and think about how much energy do I need to exert for this week and what types of foods would best serve me an exertion of that energy. And then you structure and you schedule in when you want to go buy certain foods, what type of meals you want to cook, and now you have an idea. Some people don't shop for the whole week. Maybe you shop for the days. Maybe you shop for half of the week. So having a sustainable system where you know, hey, I'm going to have a weekly food plan. Now I've actually planned out what I'm going to need to sustain my energy and my activities on the basis of what I'm going to about to do for the week. So now you got a good overview. So now how can healthy eating be an obstacle for you when you kind of have already know, like, yo, I'm actually going to take a trip over time. I'm going to need some foods to be while I'm on the go, right? You might be like, yo, I'm not going to be able to cook on this day. Right? These are some restaurants that are probably vegetarian, vegan, or healthier. That's going to be around that vicinity that I can go for lunch. Maybe I'm not going to be able to maybe afford food out. So guess what? Can I bring some fruits? Right? Literally planning out your week, which goes into holistic practices, which is planning out your week. You plan out how you eat. You plan out how you move. Maybe you might figure out that where you're going to be around this time, it's not going to be... It's possible, but it's not feasible for you to actually go to the gym. So you might say, you know what, today I'm going to have a pool workout. You might say, today I'm going to do something different. So sometimes things are possible, but they're not feasible. So because they're not possible, they're possible but not feasible. They're not optimal for the thing you're going to do and what you're going to do. what you just do is you actually learn a way to navigate around it, where you say, okay, this is possible, but it's not feasible. So therefore it's not sustainable. So therefore I must navigate around it so I can implement what is going to work for me in that time period. Look, your holistic lifestyle does not have to remain the same. It has to be able to serve your current way of living. If it's butt head, it may be possible, but it's not feasible. Therefore, it's not sustainable. So I want you to ask yourself this question. Is it possible for me to do this to sustain my lifestyle? The answer might be yes. Is it feasible and optimal for me to do this so that I can be in alignment and actually do it? You might say it's not feasible and it's not actually optimal, which means it's not the best. And I don't really think that I can have ultimate success at it. Therefore, it's not sustainable. Therefore, I need to figure out a better way. That's why this podcast is not necessarily me telling you what to do. It's me working through the thought process of whether this is possible and feasible and attainable and sustainable. So there are many things that you can actually do that's possible. But not everything that's possible is feasible and optimal for your current life situation. Therefore, it's not sustainable. So you might tell somebody, okay, you might hear somewhere raw vegan diet is the best. Or you might have heard somewhere this is the best. But looking at your current lifestyle, you might say this is probably probable, possible, and maybe it is one of the best. But in my current living situation, it's possible, it's probable, but it's not optimal for me. That's how you sustain a holistic lifestyle. It's not listening and getting what everybody says and say, I'm just going to do it. But looking at what it is and saying, will this fit into my lifestyle, into my schedule? Will this butt heads with my kids, or will it work? What if somebody asked you to work 14 hours a day? Is it possible for you to work 14 hours a day? It is possible for you to work 14 hours a day. But is it feasible? Is it optimal? You know, if you have kids, is it optimal? If you have a dream, you want to spend time working on your work and working on your gift, is it optimal? It's probably not optimal. So some things are possible, but if they're not optimal and feasible, then you can't grab onto it, because then you're going to tip the scale. Right? Because holistic living is about staying in a balanced way. And to stay balanced, you can't put too much water in one bucket. Then you start tilting. So part of this self-awareness is to look at what causes the bucket to tilt. What causes the bucket to go down towards one side? What causes you to feel pulled? If you feel pulled, then it's hard for you to stay balanced enough to keep moving forward. So sustaining a holistic lifestyle is about saying, will this work for me right now? Now, what are other things that have to do with sustainability? Sustainability has also to do with, do I have enough resources to make this happen? A sustainable town is sustainable not just because they have people to work in the town, but it's because they have resources for the people to work with. So sometimes the holistic lifestyle that you may have may not be the one that you could have in this season, because it's not sustainable, because you don't have the resources for it yet. So what if somebody says, in order for me to be happy and wealthy, I need to go to a lot of different events, and these events cost a lot of more money? Is it sustainable that you can go to an event twice a week if you don't have enough money? Probably not sustainable, because you don't have enough resources to make that happen. But is there a way you can be resourceful and still spend more time with people in a way where it's not? Absolutely. There is a way to sustain the same desire without having that amount of money. But you have to then ask yourself, how can I, and this is questions that open up doors and not close them, rather than, oh, this will never happen. Be like, how can I still have money in the bank so that I don't spend my money going to all these events and spend a lot of times with people. And I say, man, maybe I need to host my own gatherings. Maybe I need to invite people out to the park and do something. Maybe I need to actually create an event where that event will sustain money. Like maybe I can actually go to the events as a vendor. I'll make money while I'm there, and then I'll still be networking. Right? So you might say, this is what I want to add in my lifestyle, but it's not. At the current moment, you don't have enough resources. Says this, it's not the lack of resources, but it's often the lack of resourcefulness that causes most people to fail. They're not resourceful enough to see what they can do with what they have. Maybe part of your holistic lifestyle is running a certain business, is growing a certain brand. However, you don't have enough resources to spend money on these ads or buy all of these fancy things. I need you to ask yourself, how can I start with what I have right now? Like, what's the cheapest way I could print out flyers and actually go out and just talk to people and sell them? What's the cheapest way I can get my website up? Holistic lifestyle is not just your habits and your routines and everything. Holistic lifestyle is also how you bring out your gift to the world. It's how you are able to be of value and are able to get that value back monetarily so you could sustain your life with that money. So then you have to say, how can I use what I have right now, my mouth, to get me more people to invest in themselves because what I have adds value to them? Then now you might say, look, what if I hit up a couple of friends and I just send them the message about my business, and maybe I send them about, these are some of the creations, these are some of the crystals that I have, some of these necklaces that I have. What if I send them about, this is some of the teas that I have, right? What if I actually write a message, and I messaged it, I sent it over via mail to all my family members and friends that said, I started a new business, can you support me? And I actually send them a postcard. How can I be resourceful? How much would that cost? What if I actually said I'm going to make free videos a day? What if I use the Google free website option as a way to start my website? What if I start with an Instagram profile or a TikTok profile? What if I literally took my products and went down the street and started telling people about it? Like, what are some ways that I can use what I have right now to get a little farther? So sustainability is about resourcefulness when you don't have resources. So you can only have a lifestyle matching to your level of resources. But even when you don't have a certain level of resources, you can still have a similar lifestyle by being resourceful. So let me give you an example. What if somebody said, I want to live life on the earth, but I don't have the money to take vacations and trips. But some people, they want to explore. But what if you said, right now I don't have the money to take trips all over the place. That's part of my lifestyle. But guess what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to take some time and I'm going to explore my own city. I'm going to find so many great things to do around here. But there is this mountain, there's this pool, there's this nice place. Let me go check that out. Let me check out the stones in my city. Let me check out the rocks in my city. Let me check out the beaches in my city. Let me check out the things that people come to, tourists in my city. Let me be a tourist in that city. It could be even my backyard. So sometimes your holistic lifestyle does not have to necessarily look like your ideal lifestyle. You can actually turn your ideal into your reality by living the ideal in a small way that matches, living your reality in a representation of what matches your ideal. Right? I have a dream of having a beautifully designed garden. I put it just beautifully designed garden in my house by the beach, of which I have an office. Right? But however, I have an office in the backyard here when it's not my house and it's not a beautifully designed garden like I have it in my mind, but it is beautifully designed now. So I'm actually living the lifestyle I want to live then, now, with the resources I have now, with the places that I have now. So imagine if you can actually create your dream house in your current house. What if you can create your dream apartment in your current apartment? What if you can drive in your actual car like it's your dream car by resembling that into what you want. And sometimes it's not just by resembling into what you want, but by seeing your dream in what you have. By looking at the functionality of it and not necessarily, the grandeur of it. What do I mean by that? If you realize that your dream car does the same thing as your real car, you will find out that you're in your dream car because you have a car. That's just a different mindset, right? If you find out that you can actually have the same experiences in your current house that you can have in your dream house, maybe it's not as many rooms as you want, but you can actually get the feng shui up in your room in a way where you're like, yo, I could have created this Zen environment here. Now you're actually having what you wanted before you have it, so that's why you're gonna get it. What if your dream lifestyle, when you make all the money, is actually your lifestyle now in a smaller version before you make all the money? Then that lifestyle is going to attract and create all the money. So holistic living is living in such a way where there is a thin and blurred line between your ideal life and your actual life. Where there's actually, you look at your ideal life and you look at your actual life, you feel there are some gaps. Maybe there are some numbers that you need to work in. Maybe there are some things you need to improve. But at the same time, you're like, yo, they look pretty much about the same. Just the detail, the numbers are a little bit different. Things are a little bit bigger, but it's about the same. So my lifestyle now, the things that I do now are about the same of what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, except I'm going to have more of the same. So you want to have more of the same as your ideal, is what I mean. I'm doing a podcast now. I probably have more podcasts a day to do than now. I'm doing a rising session now. I'll probably have more people in the rising session, more income through the rising session, more impact through the rising session, and probably more rising sessions. I have a few speeches here and there now. I'm going to have more of those speeches here, there, and over there. Right? Like, I live a certain way now. I'm just going to have more of that. So it's just sustaining a holistic lifestyle is actually growing what you already have to be more sustainable for a longer period of time, where you get more value for doing less. Because you've done more when you had less. And because you did more when you have less, now you have more. Look, those who are able to sacrifice now and still live in a way that they don't feel like they sacrifice is those who live a fulfilling life before they even get what they thought was success. So what I mean by that is you become successful before you become successful by aligning yourself to be a successful person, where you actually have the benefit of your success in the process of achieving the success, but you reach the pinnacle of your success when you so-called unquote become successful. So this whole time you are full of success, but it's just the fullness of your success has been recognized. So now you are full of things that represent your success, but you already had it already. So now somebody says, do I become successful when I make the money? No. Because you became successful, you made the money. Money is a result of becoming successful. Success is not the result of getting money. Money is the result of aligning your habits, your routines, your practices, your thoughts, and the way that you act and behave and what you believe about yourself, and that's what the success is. And because you've then took that and you have traded in the marketplace with a product, with a gift, with a company, with a system, now you have gotten the benefit of your success. An entrepreneur does not become successful because they made money. An entrepreneur makes money because they became successful. They had a successful mindset, they had a successful routine, they had successful ideas, and they stayed consistent enough, which are principles of success. They had enough faith enough, which is a principle of success. A successful entrepreneur does not become successful when they make the money. A successful entrepreneur makes the money when they become a successful person. So because they align their mind, thoughts, habits, routines, they put out their gifts in a way that are traded in the marketplace, and they did it for a long period of times. Because they did that, they have the benefits of their success as prosperity. So success is only self-prosperity, self-cultivation, inner success cultivated long enough. That's when you then reach the pinnacle of your already success. So you're like, that's kind of deep. So you mean to tell me there are habits, there are mindsets, there are skill sets, and there are ways of feeling about yourself daily that if you align those things long enough for a specific period of time, and you don't give up, and you don't let people convince you that what you're not doing is not going to come to fruition, you don't let people throw you off track, and you just say, I'm going to keep doing this because this is my passion, this is my gift, this is my dream, I'm going to do it no matter what it looks like, no matter how it looks like, I'm going to make my dreams become a reality. Look, that person that can speak like that and that could match their speech with their actions is a successful person. Now, your level of success as it relates to how society sees you is on the basis of usually how much of it do you have. Somebody says, well, you might influence 5 people every day. In a way where, let's say you're a yoga teacher, or you do meditation, or you have classes, or whatever it is you do. Maybe you're a fitness coach, or you're an entrepreneur, whatever. I'm a teacher, a holistic teacher, I call it. And if you impact 5 people every day, 5 people come to Rise and Prime every single day, I'm successful in influencing 25 people a week, 5 people every single day. The world might say, oh, well, you're not successful because you don't influence 50. Let's say you're an entrepreneur and you sell 20 products a week. You're successful at selling 20 products a week, sustaining yourself to make 20 products a week, and how to market 20 products a week and make and sell 20 products a week. Now, cultivating that success is long enough and ensuring that you get better is going to then allow you to sell 40 products a week, 80 products a week, 120 products a week, 240 to 1,000 a week. That's with consistency, adjustment, acquiring new skill sets, keeping your mindset, keeping your routine and your habits consistent for a long period of time. And then at the pinnacle, you're like, how did I get here? Well, I kept walking. So just like with your business or with your brand or with your finances, how do you sustain a holistic lifestyle? Keep walking. It's a daily walk to heal. It's a daily walk to wealth. It's a daily walk to health. It's a daily walk to mental peace and clarity. It's a daily walk to great relationships. It's a daily walk to every single thing that you get. It's a daily walk. And I'm just giving you some daily bread to sustain your mentality so that way you can go on that walk. Right? It's just a daily walk. It's you renewing your spirit. It's the renewing of your mind daily allows you to keep walking in a way where you know the direction you're going towards. And God is the light within you to show you the way as you walk. It's a daily walk. So sustaining a holistic lifestyle is also a spiritual process of ensuring that you're not only walking by sight, but you're walking by faith because God illuminates your path and show you the way. The God within me will illuminate my path and show me a way. I trust my intuition. The God within me will illuminate my path and show me the way. I trust my intuition. You are trusting the light. So sustaining a holistic lifestyle is also a spiritual process of being in one with the Creator. Letting God guide your steps. Being in one with the light. Tapping into your intuition. Hearing what you know you need to do. Letting the callings on your life not become screams, but hearing them as a whisper. And then taking action. Facing it head on. Saying, you know what? I feel the need to do that. I'm getting an intuition. And you actually saying, I'm going to be obedient. And you making it happen. Sustainability has to do with hearing. Sustainability has to do with obedience. Sustainability has to do with adjustment. Sustainability is also about asking yourself, yes, this is possible, but is it feasible and is it optimal for my current life right now? Sustainability is about giving yourself what you need, not always what you want. Sustainability is about resourcefulness when you don't have the resources. Sustainability is about recognizing that the way that you walk every day and the person you become through the walk is what creates your success, and that success is what you then trade for accolades, money, status, success, as we call it in the modern world. So that's sustaining a holistic lifestyle, and that is Ed Talks Daily Holistic Lifestyle and Motivation. It's the Holistic Motivator, and I want to congratulate you for tapping into this episode of Ed Talks Daily, and I know it added a whole lot of value to you and anybody else that you may share this with. By the way, this podcast is not just for you to listen, it's also a great way to share, to add value to other people who you think can benefit from it. So if you know somebody who could benefit from it, just send them the website edtalksdaily.com. Shout out to you, Victoria, and let them know about the podcast. That way they can tap in themselves. And if you've enjoyed it yourself, go to edtalksdaily.com/reviews. Click rate show, rate on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and there you're going to be able to support the podcast and help Ed reach people all around the world. So you're going to help me reach millions of people every time that you actually go ahead and leave a review. So I want to give a shout out to everybody who has left a review. And one of the major things that I actually been wanting to do is to read out a few reviews. And I'm going to read Chelsea Brianna Weaver's review since it's close to me right now. Ed's fruitful investment into the lives of others have impacted so many people, myself included. You don't have to be committed to holistic living to embark on an amazing knowledge-filled journey through the episodes. Challenge yourself to find an episode that fills you with the support and tools necessary to be a purposeful you. Happy trails. See, Chelsea Weaver got it. She definitely says it's a trail, it's a walk, right? And you don't have to be completely dedicated to holistic lifestyle to know what the holistic lifestyle is all about. So I appreciate everybody who has left a review. I'm going to leave a couple more. I'm going to read a couple more reviews here to see what we currently have. There we go. Unique Designs by Victoria. Shout out to Victoria for leaving this review. She said, Prophet, this young man is wise beyond his years. I wish he would have been around in my younger years. So shout out to Victoria for leaving a review for Ed Talks Daily. And you can leave a review too if you have not yet left a review by going to edtalksdaily.com/reviews, clicking rate shows, and you're going to be able to leave a review. So shout out to everybody who are tapped in, and shout out to Victoria, and shout out to Che_Brianna, Chelsea Brianna for tapping in. Shout out to Unique Designs with a Z by Victoria. Thank you for leaving a review. And for those who have not yet a review, I'm going to say this one more time. Go to edtalksdaily.com/reviews and leave a review for the podcast. So I want to remind everybody watching and listening to this podcast, remember to text Ed Talks to 561-510-9605 so you can be added to the text messaging tribe, and I'll send you empowering text messages along with live episode reminders when I'm going live, and I'll send you the link when the episodes are posted. Remember, you have the unlimited power in you to sustain a holistic lifestyle, but not only must you believe it, you have to act upon sustaining it. Then you have to see if it works for you, and if it doesn't work for you, you have to adjust in a way that it works for you, and making sure that you're looking at what you say you're going to do and matching your action with your words, staying in integrity with what you said you're going to do. You have to believe that it's possible for you, and until that happens, the world will forever miss all your talents, all your gifts, and all the great things that you have to offer. So remember, let your light shine. Don't hide it. Don't dim it. It's the Holistic Motivator, and I want to thank you for watching. Peace.